Expansion is one of my favorite topics to talk about. It is a tremendous opportunity to get money if you are a current owner because you get a big expansion fee that is current day cash. It gets paid upfront and you get that money to use for your payroll. You get it to use it to pay down debt. A lot of leagues are talking expansion right now. You know, baseball is talking it. Hockey was talking it, but then Gary Bettman sort of quashed it. The NBA is talking it, but Adam Silver said, well, we're Seattle, Vegas, there could be some other markets, but we're not quite there yet. The WNBA went all in on expansion yesterday. And they are going to expand, and they announced this a couple days ago. They're going to expand to 18 teams. They added a team in Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia. That is in addition to two other teams that are joining the WNBA, Portland and Toronto. And you know that Golden State's WNBA team just started. So it looks as though the WNBA is increasing at a rate that seems not sustainable and would seem to indicate that everything is butterflies, roses, and unicorns. And as a matter of fact, the players in the WNBA who are currently negotiating a CBA are taking this expansion announcement as proof positive you guys are flowing with cash. Profitability is at an all-time high. Give me my money. The thing is, for the WNBA, that's not the case. And expansion in other leagues can certainly mean that it is a positive indicator to the financial status of teams and the league. But when you are the WNBA, you've been basically a fledgling league for a long time. Your teams are not profitable. They're only worth some money on paper with some limited partners coming in at high valuations. But the reality is they had so few teams when they started this major round of expansion. Their schedule is so, they don't play a lot of games to start with. That what the WNBA is trying to do is just get to a point where they're actually looking and feeling and acting like an actual club, like an actual league, because they signed this new TV deal. That TV deal, which got the players all lathered up saying, hey, this is another example how great everything is. And John Skipper agreed. And I told John Skipper that my view is that the NBA was faking it till they make it with the WNBA. They pegged the TV number at a big growth rate to show how healthy it was with Caitlin Clark and everything else that's going on. But the reality of the numbers wasn't showing it. So, do you think it's a coincidence that the WNBA is expanding where there are already NBA teams? Do you think it's a coincidence that they're expanding around right now current CBA negotiations? Because if the NBA, which is really the majority investor, they're involved the most in the WNBA, if they thought that announcing these expansions and these cities would have a deleterious impact on their CBA negotiations, they wouldn't have done it. The reality is the players can chirp all they want, and boy, have they ever, including the commissioner who said the demand, and this is not Adam Silver, this is the commissioner of the WNBA, said the demand for women's basketball has never been higher. We are thrilled to welcome Cleveland, Detroit, and Philly to the WNBA family. This historic expansion, keep in mind what I just said, this historic expansion is a powerful reflection of our league's extraordinary momentum, the depth of talent across the game, and the surging demand for investment in women's professional basketball. Why did she say that? Because she wants it to be true. She wants to be able to sit at the negotiating table and use this expansion as actually a meaningful marker as they negotiate how revenue should be shared and how minimum salary should increase and how they should all be making more money. Think about this, though. You're getting some fees, no question. Not like the NBA, not like MLB. But the owners of the WNBA teams are still trying to get back to par. It's not about profit. They're not close to profitability yet. So they're taking these fees as a way to try to get out of the financial hole faster. And what the WNBA players are saying is because of expansion, we'll have more players. By the way, we want those more players making more and more money. But in fact, it can be argued that unless you know that you've got sponsorship deals that are league wide that will be increasing disproportionately to the additional teams coming in, meaning we were going to give you $1 million, but now that you're in Cleveland, Detroit, and Philly, we're going to give you $2 million, which means that I can say that $1 million of revenue was incremental to the expansion. You can't say that. I'm not willing to say there's $1 of incremental national revenue or TV revenue because of expansion. I dare say that when the NBA pegged the TV deal where it pegged it for the WNBA, the NBA knew exactly what it was doing. They knew exactly what the network was buying. They knew exactly the number of teams, the number of markets. They knew the partnership with the NBA cities. They were aware this wasn't a plan that just falls out of the air. Expansion is a process. It is a multi-year road, curvy, windy. Players are in for a major, major surprise if they think that it's all of a sudden going to turn into this windfall, because it's not.